All right, man. Detroit Lions fall to the Buccaneers of Tampa, and yeah, man, I can't believe as many fans showed up as they actually did, man. That was crazy, man. But they take that L, 38-17, and first thing you gotta talk about is Britt Perriman's son. Most Lions fans probably don't remember Britt Perriman. Really good wide receiver here for 5 years in the 90s. His son, Brashad Perriman, who's absolutely done nothing in the league till today, had 5 catches, 113, 22.6 yards a catch for 3 TDs, especially the fourth quarter ending TD was a big one. And the guy I thought that would kill us today, Godwin, he ended up getting injured, but he had 5 catches, 121. At one point, famous Jameis Winston was on track to throw for 600 yards. He ended up with 458 yards, 4 touchdowns, and I think he threw a TD early on. Dominican Sue, I believe he recorded a sack today as well. One of the other dudes, I think Sean Buntley, he's a local guy. He got a pick 6. Shaq Barrett, he got a sack, so I think he got the Tampa Bay sack record. And Dominican Sue got a sack. And let's talk a little bit about the Lions. And at the end of the game, before the game was over, the stadium started to clear out. But I'll talk about all that. David Blogg, 24 for 43, 266, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Wes Hill, rookie free agent running back, they just signed 10 carries, 21 yards, 2.1 average, 2 TDs, nothing else for nobody else for real. Blogg had 4 carries, 20 yards on the ground. Danny Amendola had 102. He had a big catch on a pass interference. And other than that, Chris Lacy had a deep catch for 48 yards. Galloway, 3 catches, 44 yards, and pretty much nothing after that. I believe Tavon Wilson got hurt. Jelani Tavai, he got an interception on Jameis. The only one. Devin Kennard got a sack. Romeo Rockwell got a sack. And pretty much that's the way he kind of boiled down today, man. And Trey Flowers had 3 tackles, no sacks today. That is, I think, his 5 or 6 sack winning streak. And Rashad Melvin gave up a touchdown. That's because the safety he bit on the tight end, and then Melvin got burnt by, I think it was Petaway on that one. But exactly how I thought it would go. I thought it would be worse than this, to be honest, in my head, because Jameis gonna give you some, but he gonna put up a lot of yards. He gonna put up a lot of stats. And imagine if they had Mike Evans and a healthy Godwin. I think when Godwin went out, the offense kind of sputtered a little bit, and I think they got a little bit of confident. But they did what they had to do. One problem with Tampa Bay and people watching this team, like, well, other teams ain't really done the Lions like this. What do Tampa Bay got that's holding them back? They don't have no running game. Their running game is pathetic. They drafted Ronald Jones III, I think the same year we took Kerryon. They took him before we took Kerryon. He really ain't worked out. Peyton Barber ain't worked out. And the one problem with Tampa Bay, with Bruce Arians being there and Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator, they can't run the ball. So they got to find a way to run the ball, whoever they get to be quarterback next year. If it's keeping Jameis on a 1-year deal and bringing a developmental guy in or a younger guy in, they got to find out how to run the ball. If they want to run the ball, Jameis Winston probably can be an adequate quarterback. Maybe not top 10, top 15 type, but hey, if you put a good defense together, they got a good run defense. They just need a secondary. But today, had too much firepower for the Lions. What they like to do best, and over Bruce Arians' career, when he was the offensive coordinator, I think, for Roethlisberger, he was the interim head coach in Indianapolis, and then he was the head coach in Arizona. What they like to do is air it out. They like to go down the field. Jameis Winston can throw the ball. He got a lot of arm, and he got a lot of deep accuracy. He's just decision-making and holding on to the ball is his weak spot. And the Lions just didn't have enough to do so. But, hey, they end up getting an interception in there on him early on, Jelani Tavai. And, other than that, he didn't make the big mistakes. Darius Slay dropped a potential interception as well. But, at the end of the day, this team might not be giving up on Patricia, but they stink. You know what I'm saying? He trading away talent. And then we got talent getting hurt, and it's not working out. But offensively, David Blogg, like I told you guys, same thing with Crisco Driscoll. When the NFL started to get tape on you and they can see what you can and what you can't do, they're going to start to take away your strengths. And now the things that you don't do so well, you got to improve on it week to week and doing well. And with David Blog, they taking away what he like to do well. They see what they're trying to do with him. And the league has adjusted to David Blog. So it's up to David Blog to adjust to show that he can play in this league. And right now, him and Darrell Bevel not making those adjustments. But it's a little bit hard to make those adjustments when you don't have a running game. And that's why it's important to have a good running game, a good offensive line, to make it easier just in case your starting quarterback go out. Another guy can come in. They can rely on the Saquon. They can rely on the Adrian Peterson in this prime. They can rely on the Zeke Elliott, and they can get some things done. And right now, the Detroit Lions offense is dependent on passing and Matthew Stafford, and that's not going to get it done. I mean, if Stafford was looking at himself in a parallel universe, he'd be looking at Jameis Winston. All right, not saying from a skill point they're the same person, but they situation, they the same person because, you know, Arizona. I mean, I keep saying Bruce Arians, Arizona. Bruce Arians and Tampa Bay want to air it out down the field. So do Matthew Stafford and the countless offensive coordinators he had, but neither one of them had a running game. If they had to run a game, Matthew Stafford wouldn't have so many career interceptions, and Jameis Winston wouldn't have so many career interceptions and turnovers. So when I say they in the same person, same situation, that's what I mean. Not necessarily from a talent standpoint, but, you know, you can't really ask somebody to go out there and beat Tom Brady and drop back 50 times a game and throw 5 or 6 yard passes. So the Lions still, after 20 years since Barry Sanders left around then, they still ain't figured out their biggest issue is not defense, it's not receivers, it's getting a good offensive lineman and getting a good running game, and they still ain't got that. Years and years, you know, Jeff Backus sucked, Riley Reef sucked, Taylor Decker sucked. No, they got to put a premium on finding a good, probably young veteran left tackle, you know, finding a good right tackle, and they got to get a good left guard, and they got to get good linemen and run the ball and be able to protect Matthew Stafford or whoever's the quarterback going forward, you know, whoever do come in. But today just shows you this team lacks talent. Its depth has got a lot better, because if you tell me if Matthew Stafford would have went down 3, 4, 5 years ago, this team would have been in trouble as long as Sean Hill wasn't the quarterback. But they lack talent, you know what I'm saying, in the right places. And you know what? The team stink. And, you know, Tampa Bay was a better team. Obviously, they was healthy. They got their quarterback. They got, you know, their receivers is still going in. They have receivers for days. But, you know, looking at the defense, the Lions trying to play zone. And, you know, it's funny. It's kind of like watching Michigan. Michigan tried to play zone at points this year, and they just weren't comfortable in it because they didn't do a lot of it. So it's basically like, you know, telling somebody to go out there in baseball and they're a single doubles hitter. You telling them to go out there and start hitting home runs overnight. It don't work like that. You got to go out there, build your physical strength up, build your power up from your legs, build your swing up. You know what I'm saying? You got to build up to being a home run hitter. You know what I'm saying? And for the Lions, you know, for defense, you got to build up to being a good zone defense. You know what I'm saying? Or being a good balanced man in zone defense. You just can't go out there and say we're going to play cover 2, Tampa 2, cover 3, cover 4. You know, you can't go out there and just say that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's communication. You know what I'm saying? It's discipline. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, quarterbacks in this league know how to manipulate the zone. They know how to look them off. They know how to get the safety to bite up and give up deep responsibility. And then you get big touchdown plays down there to Bashad Perriman and the other wide receiver that end up getting injured. You know, that's what it's about. Zone is it takes time. It takes camaraderie. It takes trusting that brother next to you and knowing what he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And right now you telling these dudes to play man. You get to the 10th, 11th, 12th week. Now we gonna play a little bit more zone. No, they're not going to be successful. You know, but, you know, what it is. You know, I seen Martha and Matty P talking up before the game. You know, Bob Quinn, he and Hyde, he only talked before and after the season. He had covered as well, too. But, hey, we know David Blog probably ain't going to be the quarterback of the future. Not sure Chris Driscoll can, but maybe they can work with him. He got some mobility. He got a nice arm. But right now, where the Lions is lacking is, you know, blocking up, running the ball, blocking up front, and elite speed. You need those game breakers, man. And the Lions just refuse to go out there and get game breakers. Man, be about the backfield at the receiver position. And if they get speed guys, they like, you know, undrafted guys, guys other teams don't want. They need a Jackson. He's a Saquon Barkley type of home run type of back. And that's just what it is, man. But, fans still showing up to the game. It don't surprise me. No matter if the Lions go out there and they put a whole bunch of boo-boo emojis out there, 11 on defense, 11 on offense, and the other 20-something on the sideline. I mean, this just tells you what the problem with Detroit is. And a lot of people probably bought their tickets beforehand, or they was cheap. The kids ain't never been down to the field. But until our fans take a stance and stop supporting this BS and stop going down there, stop tailgating, they're going to continue to put out this product. They're going to continue to just shovel out hope in the offseason, and people going to continue to buy the tickets. It's the same thing. If people really want the Fords to sell the team, it's time to stop supporting them, man. Especially if they bring back Bob Quinn and Patricia, But hey, it's funny how the commentators, and I'm feeling like they taking money from the Lions. It's funny how the commentators keep bringing up these stats. Oh, Dick Vermeil and Bill Parcells had 2 losing seasons in their first 2 years as head coach. So everything is up and up for Matt Patricia. I like how they be so positive for the other. I just leave it at that. How they be so positive. But when it comes to the brother coaches, to the coaches that don't have the complexion for the selection, they be worried to get them fired. And that's just what the NFL is about. That Kaepernick thing was just a microcosm of what's really going on in the NFL. They're not calling for a lot of these dudes' jobs out there. You know what I'm saying? Sam Darnold's trash, but they trying to really push him as the next superstar quarterback. But when they was trying to hang Lamar Jackson last year, because of the game he had versus Los Angeles Chargers in the playoffs. But look at him now this year. But, at the end of the day, I have no problem with Matty P and Bob Quinn staying. And neither do the Force, because guess what? People still going to come down there. They're going to buy popcorn. They're going to buy French fries. They're going to pay for parking. They're going to spend their money. They're going to buy jerseys. They're going to have a ton of Detroit Lions pride. The Force going to continue to make money off a losing situation. That's like, I can't really explain it, but that's like, I just really can't give an analogy. And it's the first time ever, but why would you put money into something when it's still working well and it's producing? And that's what the Lions do. It's still producing a ton of money. They still turn over a hard profit. They're still on TV every game. They still no blackouts, none of that. You know what I'm saying? People going to continue to tune in. And I'm pretty sure I wish the Tigers wish, the Red Wings wish, and the Pistons wish they got that type of support. But, obviously the Lions are the lovable losers of Detroit. They always will be. And as long as the Fords are at the controls, it's just not going to be a winner. I hate to say that, but right now the team is still playing hard for Matt Patricia, but I think they're playing hard out of fear. A lot of these dudes that's out there playing, they may not get another shot nowhere else. Wes Hill, shout out to him today. He got 2 big touchdowns. He may not get a shot nowhere else. David Blog might not get a shot nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? Usually you go to Detroit, it's hard to find a shot somewhere else unless you got a lot of talent. But, I don't think anybody really thought the Lions was going to win this game. I feel that once they lost to Washington, even though Washington played a little bit better, they gave Philly a run for their money and they just beat somebody, Carolina, the other week. I feel that once they lost to Washington, they wasn't going to win another game. And that's what I truly felt that, man. So they could be looking at a top pick. And once again, once the NFL season reset after the Super Bowl, get to the combine and free agency and the draft, people going to start drinking the Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid again. And this is what we got. But if you look at the team, really, who do I think you can really build around out of some of the young guys here? I mean, Galladay, his contract should be coming up soon, but really, do he want to be stuck in this town, stuck in this situation? If I'm him, I'm thinking I'm looking at Bob Quinn and if the rumors are true that Matt Patricia sit up there and rip everybody after the game and he's such a Darth Vader asshole type. I'm thinking I'm going somewhere else. If they franchise tag me, well, cool. I play for the franchise tag, but this cheap organization not going to franchise tag him. If I'm Kenny Galladay, I'm thinking I want to make a switch. And I'm just God honest truth, man. I'm thinking I want to make a switch. What's going on here? I mean, Hawkinson, he going to be here. I think he going to improve and be a top tight end. Marvin Jones, you got to ask yourself about him, even though he not even got. But, team just lacks talent, man. You know what I'm saying? Lacks leadership. It lacks an owner that want to win. And obviously it lacks media support from the media around Detroit. So, it was terrible today. They was getting blowout early. They came back. like they do. Part of the comeback was because Godwin got injured and Tampa Bay let their foot off the gas pedal. But then they put their foot back on the gas pedal and choked these Lions out. But I seen some fans out there with the garbage bag on their head saying the same old Lions with a brown paper bag. Well, hey, if they're the same old Lions, stop showing up, all right? Let there be a lesson. I understand people bought tickets to this game and Green Bay game thinking to be something big. And I understand you want to, you don't want to let your hard-working dollar go down for nothing. But next year, before people purchase season tickets and they hit you up about those season tickets, think long and hard. No matter if they draft baby Jesus or the baby Yoda himself from the Mandalorian, man, don't go buy them tickets, man. Wait and see. Buy game tickets. Make Martha fill it in the wallet. But hey, y'all know what it is, man. Motor City Sports Talk. Lions lose as usual. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? That link subscription. Best way to donate is share the video. And I love to hear you guys what you think about the game. And people talking about Jameis can be the quarterback in Detroit next year. I don't believe that to be true. But he probably be somewhere else. But I don't think a lot of fans seen why he ain't gonna be there next year. But that's because Detroit Lions defense headed by Matt Patricia made him look so good. But I do appreciate it. One time for the one time Motor City Sports.